Hello, welcome back everyone to our last video in this series of Pandas operations. So we're working on the date time operations. Let's say we have our date column, and when it's imported in, it might be an object. So these are actually strings in values. All right, so we actually want real time date time, because then we can extract by, group by, all these other modifications that we can do when this date column is actually a datetime object. Now the .toDateTime allows us to step in, converts it from a string into the correct object we want. So we can do the pd.toDateTime, and we're passing as first parameter df date, and then errors equals course means that if there's any errors or some things are like cut off, it will still run and just skip that row. And we're just going to pass it in df date. So that is our toDateTime. Converts our object string into specifically what we want is the datetime object. Now, once we have our datetime object, which is correctly assigned, we can split this date into month, year, week, etc. using the .dt. So think of it like a .dt, like a door, and we can extract more information. That's how I think about it visually. So we can do the .dt.year to extract the year from this object. So let's say our object is 2020 month day. We can extract the year, month, week, day. So we do df date .dt year to get the year, and then we can do the dt.month to get the month and dt.week to get the week. So that is very powerful use case for datetime operations. Now another one is the resample, which is also a great use case. So for dates, it's like you can group, it's like a group by, but for date time. So it's actually really impressive that you can define, hey, I want give me, let's say a frequency, and for the date, for the month, for the week, the year, right? Okay, let's say I want to group by my date, and I want the sum of the revenue. Well, okay, how do you want it? Well, do you want it by the year, the month, or the week? Well, I can specify .resample. I want it by the month, my revenue .sum. So you can get a group by revenue at the month level. So that's very useful for resample. So let's work with the datetime operations. We look at the toDateTime, dt year, month, week, and resampling group by intervals. And for the educations, there may be some bad strings, zones, the standardized weeks, missing dates. So let's go ahead and import pandas as PD, and I'm gonna import the original data set so we could see the difference here. I believe that's always at the top here. All right, let's import pandas, import the data frame. So df.info. So date is an object, and we want it to convert to datetime. So that's pd to datetime. What are we passing its parameters? The column, passing in the new value into that column, and errors course allows us to actually iterate with no errors. So let's go ahead and do that. Now we can look at df date dot. We can look at value counts, or we can look at info. All right, so it's actually a datetime object. That's what we want. Now let's say we want to extract the parts. So we have df info. Actually, let's do head. We have date here, but we can add into other columns the year, the month, and the date. I mean the week. So we can do extract as part. Now we could see here the new columns being made: year, month, and week. Now we can look into monthly revenue. Say for the monthly revenue, resample allows us to group by the revenue, and we can pass it in by date, by month. So we're doing the monthly revenue. So this is our dates and by monthly revenue. Well, that's all for today's video. We covered to datetime, resample, and extracting parts. See you in the next video.